the loudspeaker or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone next to you will get on their phone.
Yes. All right. Okay, make sure I've got it recorded. Cool. And I'm not recording on my phone, so like your face won't be in it or anything, but just the voice. And I think I know I'm only sending the recordings to my professor, so she's the only one that's gonna hear it, and I don't know that she'll even listen to it. But I'm just letting you know. And I do have to like disclose who it is, but I don't, I'm just not gonna look you up or anything like that. And she just wanted us to get my coworkers' opinions on these topics and just kind of discuss different viewpoints of it and everything like that. So yeah, just wanted to let you know ahead. Okay, so the topic that is going to be talked about is rapport, so like building rapport. I don't know if you know what that means exactly, but just a definition, just kind of brief your mind on it, is so building a relationship of trust or moving toward trust. And so whenever I said rapport, what is like kind of like the first thought that came to your mind?
Teamwork.
Teamwork, okay.
Is a big part of that, where everybody feels like they have a role to play and that they're important to what is trying to be accomplished.
Yeah. Okay. And that definition, so building a relationship of trust or moving toward trust, like, do you agree with that? Do you think that's like trust is an aspect of building rapport?
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's how people will feel a part of something, is to trust each other, that not only am I giving and doing what I feel like I can do to help, but other people are also doing that, so you trust each other to make the team or the workplace or whatever the group is a priority.
Yeah. Okay, and so I kind of like wanted to pick you for this because I know that you meet with like new or potential employees, and you kind of go through the process of getting them familiar with plant and everything, and kind of like building that first connection. So how do you like build rapport with others?
I ask a lot of questions. I'm a little bit annoying about it, I think. But I want to, I ask them a lot of questions about the things they're interested in and why they wanted to work at Plant. What about Plant was attractive to them? What, made them want to reach out and apply to this place versus someplace else that would do maybe similar things. And I ask about their interests, their backgrounds, things they're involved in, all the way from first interviews. Really, I want to know, are they in sports? Are they artistic? Do they dance? Do they sing? Whatever. And just the kinds of things that let us see their personality a little bit more, and not just like, okay, they're filling a spot on our schedule, but we actually care about them as a person. And we want to, cheer them on. If they're a runner and they're trying to break their school record, we want to know that, right? And if they're, going to participate in a marathon or something to raise money for a certain nonprofit, we want to know what that is, and maybe can we be a part of that, to make them feel connected as a person versus just an employee to fill a spot on a schedule for a certain number of hours.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of want to see more about other aspects of their life as well, and see how that kind of plays into how they may work in the workplace and everything. Okay. And so building rapport with others, do you think that it's necessary?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Absolutely.
Kind of given, but
I think that most people would say yes, and a lot of people wouldn't put action behind that necessarily.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to get tunnel vision. And from a management perspective, it's easy to get tunnel vision and just check things off the list versus actually thinking about the people, that you're dealing with. And I think it's necessary because it makes managing a lot easier. Yeah. If you will build that rapport and that trust, when people feel like you care about them they're more willing to, participate in the things that you're trying to accomplish. They're more willing to put more energy into something or be more, more accountable to the team.
Yeah. That's a good point. So when you're building rapport and like asking questions, do you get like nervous when you like kind of ask these questions just because you're afraid that maybe like they're gonna feel like you're probing a little bit, and then like how do you combat that and like, or like what goes through your head whenever you do maybe get nervous or apprehensive?
I don't get nervous about that. That's not something I feel nervous about.
Yeah.
Just because I feel like that's kind of my personality, which is how I migrated into this kind of line of work. I want to know about people, and I care about people, and I want to cheer them on. And I'm a teaching background. I was a teacher, and so like the idea that everyone is just constantly learning and developing is really important to me. And I want to know where they are to know where they want to go. And so I don't get nervous asking those questions. If anybody starts to act apprehensive about answering something, I will redirect it. So if I ask a question and they like react like, oh, that's a little bit personal, then I'll be like, I'm sorry, that may be too personal, and then I just redirect, but I just really gauge that on their reaction, because most people will tell you, they'll act weird if they feel awkward, but that's not something I'm typically nervous about.
Okay.
Not that gave you a good answer or not.
No, that is, no, because it's a good point. Yeah, like, some people actually just don't get nervous building rapport, and I do. It's something that I'm too apprehensive about asking questions. I'm like, oh, that's probably too personal. Let's not go that route. But really, that's part of building rapport, is, like, getting to know someone. So it's a good point. So a part of in our textbook about building rapport is following your natural curiosity. So like if you first see someone and they're wearing a purple hat, or they're wearing like I don't know, like a headband that has like flowers sticking off it or something, you kind of just curious about it, so you want to ask about it, or you wanting to know. So do you follow like your natural curiosity? Yeah, for the most part. Yeah.
I want to know all the things.
Yes.
I want to know all the things.
Yes.
And also, I go back to my background. As I was a teacher for a long time, and most of the time, if someone's wearing something pretty out of the ordinary, they want you to notice it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If someone's specifically wearing something that stands out, or if they, wear their hair a certain, colors, bright colors, or, a kind of a drastic hairstyle or something like that, they do it because they're not doing it because they don't want you to notice. They're doing it because they want you to notice. And so, in general, people are really willing to talk about that because they wanted you to notice anyway. Oh, I'm so glad you noticed. Let me tell you all about it. That's why they were wearing it in the first place. Same thing with like, T-shirts supporting a certain thing, or, whatever. They want you to know. That's why they wore it. That's why they did it. And that's why they put it out there. And so, yes, definitely follow natural curiosity. Some people will do things just for shock value, and that's okay too. That's what they're after. But to pretend like you don't notice it is very odd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's really doing something blatantly like shocking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a thing that's, if suddenly they change their entire appearance and they're wearing, black lipstick and have dyed their hair, that's out of character for them. But for you to pretend like you don't notice is almost like offensive. So like you do have to follow up on those things, I think.
Yeah.
And then you just decide where you go from there.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, hey, this is a weird conversation. Glad I asked. Moving on.
Yes. No, that's a good point. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people they do choose to ignore it, and you're kind of like, oh, well, I guess we'll just not going to talk about that and just sit here in silence till we talk about something else, I guess. So that's a good point.
It
yeah.
is. I think that you have to, I don't know, people are people. They do things for a reason,
Yeah.
And if they're putting themselves out there in a certain way like that, they want you to notice and ask about it because it's important enough for them to make those decisions. So I think in general, they want to have a conversation about it, and it makes them feel seen and that you care enough to figure it out,
Yeah.
I think that's never a bad thing.
Very true, yeah.
You may open a can of worms you didn't want to open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to redirect.
But then, yeah, and then you redirect, and it works out. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Let's see. Actually, okay, I think that's it. So I thought I had a couple more questions, but okay, one last one. So what do you do if you cannot like connect with someone? If you just feel like you've went every route and they're just not really answering those questions, and not that they're maybe don't want to talk to you anymore, but you can't find something. What do you do? Or if you've ever had that situation, I don't know.
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of an example so I would know kind of how I would respond.
Yeah.
Can you usually find a way to connect with someone, even if it's pretty surface? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it is in an interview, if we're deciding whether to bring them on board,
True. Yeah.
and we can't find any place to connect whatsoever, it's most likely is that fit issue. They're not going to fit in here. Like if we can't find something to connect on, at least be like share a smile about. Chances are pretty good this isn't going to work out for us. So we probably need to go ahead and say, yeah, this is not a great fit.
Yeah.
But there are, obviously, I don't agree with everybody. Everybody doesn't agree with me. Everybody's got their own opinions and personalities and that kind of stuff. And so we don't have to be best friends,
Yeah.
But we should at least be able to find some connecting point, in addition to the fact that we're both working at the same place. Like,
Very true.
Hey, we both like drinking coffee, something. There has to be something that we can connect with somehow. And if people are purposely not doing that, then in general, I find people who can't connect and who are purposely keeping themselves separate don't last very long in a workplace. They move on to somewhere they do feel connected.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, So in general, if it's like an interview, that's a good key to me that this is not going to really work out. You're not going to like it here. It's going to be awkward for our team to have you here if you can't even have a conversation with someone without closing down, but past that, like if they got past that point, like they fainted enough that, or something changes, you know what I mean? There's people, there's things that happen in people's lives where they just, something's hard is going on, and that's how they deal, is to shut down and pull out, back out and put barriers up. That's a different ball game, and hopefully there's enough of a foundation built where people can hold on to them and give them some space, but in general, if it's just a personality thing or two different, polar opposites, moving opposite directions, then that's an indicator that it's not a good fit for our team.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. Usually you can find something, but sometimes you really got to dig deep, and that's part of the hard part of it.
And it takes both people doing it,
Yes. Yeah.
It can't just be one-sided.
Yes. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much for meeting with me and doing this. It's kind of silly, but I was like, I need something for this this paper, and no, it worked out. But yeah, thank you for answering. Yeah, and building and elaborating on them too, because you could have just been like, yes, no, I don't know. But yeah.
That doesn't help you.
Yeah. All right.
Do you have other interviews? Do you have a list of people?
I thought about calling Marielle, but I don't want to bug her about it. We'll see. But then the requirements of the paper are coworkers, and originally I was just gonna interview my dad about it because he's an administrator, so he knows all about stuff like this.
Yeah.
But it's coworkers, and so I don't know, because technically I used to be a worker for him. I used to mow lawns with him in the summers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a full business, so we had to deal with that, but we'll see if I go that route. I don't know. Be kind of cheating.
How far can I push it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And you have to record them, so it's like, I guess I could get on Zoom and record with people and stuff, but then it's just, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
No,
due.
those picky requirements.
I know, yeah. But it's part of the.
It's almost like they want you to work for this or something.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'm like, oh man, I'm in graduate school. I really do have to do things like this.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure Mary will be happy to answer questions. It doesn't take very long.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's less than 30 minutes. But
Nice.
yeah, it's due Sunday though, so I need to get on
Bust
it.
it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you'll be great.
Thank
All right.
you.
Well, no worries. Let me know if you need anything else.
Okay, thank you.
Talk to
Bye.
you later.